It's 16 hours.
If you read the question, it says that the machine will cost 250,000. So that's your asset. That's your PPE. Is that clear?
Yes, it is. It is. Thank you.
Okay. So, in fact, to simplify it, I'm going to put the cost of the machine here as part of our cost of machine, so that it can be clearly seen. 250, 1, 2, 3. Excellent. So, right, so I'm going to come here and say equals. So I'll do it here and then I'll copy the formula here. So I say equals the cost of the machinery, okay, multiplied by the rate. Yeah, we enter. So this is the formula. Well, this will not be very helpful when we have. So in fact, there is no need for this column, but the calculations will be shown here anyway. Okay? The calculations will be shown here when you click on the formula. So here you have your capital allowance, and then you have your WDV and then the tax benefit. So how can we calculate our WDV for the first year, our net book value, or our written down value? When we are calculating capital allowances, we don't say net book value, but we say written down value. So what will be our written down value in year 1?
I think that will be equals to.
Equals,
It's going to be the cost of the the cost of the assets minus
which is minus
capital allowance.
capital allowance.
And the capital allowance is C15. We enter. So our WDV for year 1 will be 187,500. Okay. So in fact, I think to make it simpler, to make it more explicit, let's have the first column as our cost. Okay. So that our cost of machinery, instead of coming here, we're going to have it here so that the brought forwards will also be here. So we say cost / brought forward. Okay, is that clear? So our cost, the first cost for year 1 will be 250,000. So we're going to make this capital allowances and all of them to format them to financial and no DP. Is that clear, everybody? So I think this is easier, so that we'll just break forward the whatever WDV here. So now our formula will be equals the cost here multiplied by the capital allowance rate. We enter. Okay, and then our WDV will be what? This minus that. So that's easier, isn't it? Okay, so we'll leave the tax benefit for now. So that's year 1. So year 2, what will be the brought forward?
It's going to be the 187,500.
Yeah.
So how should we bring it here? How should we bring it?
You're going to say equals to, and you click on that.
Good. Excellent. Now, what will be the capital allowance in year 2?
It will be 25. The 25% multiplied by the cost, the brought down cost.
Okay, so we say equals. We say equals this multiplied by the 25%. Okay, so let's make the 25% absolute, and we enter. Okay, and now what will be our WDV? We can replicate this formula, isn't it? So once we copy, our WDV will become 140,625. Is that clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So in year 3, what will be the brought forward value?
Gonna be
146.
140.
Okay, so we can replicate that one also, so that once we copy, the brought forward will be this. Okay, what about the capital allowance? The capital allowance also, we can bring the calculation here, so that the capital allowance will be this multiplied by the 25%. So the capital allowance is 35,156. And what will be the WDV? Yeah, we can replicate this so that we have 105,469. Okay, 105,469 will be our WDV value in year 3. Okay, so far so good, everybody?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so you have to be careful in year 4. What is happening in year 4? Read the question. What is happening in year 4? Read the question, please. What is happening in year 4?
Yeah. For I think there is a disposal proceed of 5,000.
In year 4, we are selling the asset. In year 4, we are selling the machine. So if we sell an asset, are we going to have any balance of the asset in our books?
No.
No. So therefore, the balance brought forward less the proceed will be equivalent to our capital allowance. Take note of that. We are not leaving anything in our book because we are selling it. If you sell something if you dispose of an asset, should you still show it in your books of accounts? No way. If you do that, auditors are going to kill you. Okay, is that clear? So in year 4, the value will be what? This will be brought forward, okay? But in actual sense, we'll have this balance brought forward here, 105,436, but our capital allowance will be everything, excluding the disposal. So we're not going to leave anything here, so we're going to take everything off. But then, mind you, we are getting a proceed. We are getting some proceeds of how much? What's the cash proceed?
5,000.
5,000. So our capital allowance in the final year of the asset will be everything, the brought forward WDV, written down value, less the disposal proceed. So it's going to be 105,469, which is the final balance at the end of year 3, less our disposal proceed. So that gives us 100,469. So that when we disposed of everything, there will be a balance of, so it's going to be this. It's going to be this minus that. So everything will go off, the balance will be 0. Okay, is that clear? Because we have disposed of the asset, we will not have any balance in our books. Okay, so far so good? So,
Yes.
Sorry,
yeah.
Mr.
Yes.
Where you put this? That one, I don't understand it.
Yeah. How to call it? Omar is very, very simple. We are trying to depreciate an asset. Okay. The asset has got a useful life of 4 years. Naturally, at the end of that 4 years, will you have any value for that asset in your books?
No.
Because you're going to sell it at the end of year 4. So at the end of year 4, there will be nothing there. So far, you've understood up to year 3, isn't it?
Yes, I understand everything.
Okay. So up to end of year 3, the asset will have a carrying value of 105,469. But when we are calculating capital allowances, we don't call it carrying value, we call it WDV, written down value of 105. Okay. So that 105 will be brought forward here. But then the capital allowance that we're going to gain on that asset will be everything. It will all be this 105, assuming that there is no disposal proceed. Okay? But because there's disposal proceed, we are going to, this disposal proceed is an inflow. So the disposal proceed, we are going to less that from the written down value so that we can have a net of this will be our total capital allowance for the final year. And of course, when we consider that, then that means our written down value will be nil because we have sold the asset off completely. Is it clear now, Omar?
Yes, like for this, the written down value for the last year, in that case, are you going to, is it going to be like 105,000 minus 105,000?
105,469 minus 105,469. So that will be 0.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Okay. So now what we're going to do is, what we are interested in is this, the capital allowances. So let me highlight them because we are going to get our tax benefit on the capital allowances. So we are interested in the capital allowance so that we can calculate our tax benefit. So every year we're going to get a tax benefit of this much. So we're going to calculate our tax benefit, and the tax benefit will be the same rate as the tax cost. So Umar, take note, it's not going to be 25%. The 25% is for calculating our capital allowances. When we are calculating our tax rate, our tax cost is 30%. Our tax benefit will always be 30% on the capital allowance. Is this clear?
Yes, it is.
Equals, we say equals the capital allowance multiplied by the tax rate of 30%, and we make it fixed, we enter. Then we have this. Okay, so this will be the tax benefits. 18,750, 40,063, 10,547, 30,141. So this is very important for us because we are going to claim this. So we are getting this, okay, instead of the tax benefit on our depreciation. Because if we had calculated depreciation, we will have got a tax benefit on it. Can someone tell me why the taxman is doing this? Why is the taxman doing this? Please, I need a brilliant question. So I need a brilliant answer. Why the taxman is disallowing notional costs and instead giving capital allowances? Why is the taxman doing that?
I think the reason is like if the taxman allow the notional benefit, like the depreciation or things like that, like the accountants might overstate it. Since he know that.
Good, good, simple. Who wants to pay tax? Who? Tell me who? Nobody wants to pay tax. Nobody wants to pay tax. So if the taxman, if DRA should allow, you know, depreciation and all other notional costs, people will pay tax there, but it's going to be small. But they'll go and inflate their depreciation, and you cannot challenge them. So that's why they don't allow it. If you put depreciation there, you put amortization, you put all other non-personal, they add it back, and they give you capital allowance in turn. Capital allowance, you cannot do anything with that. Okay? Because it will be based on your asset, and they'll give you their own rate. So you cannot play with that. Okay? Tax people are very intelligent. Okay? They're very, very intelligent. No. Okay? Good. So that's a brilliant answer. So let's go to our let's go to our, how to call it, our answer and bring this in here. So just like the tax cost will be paid in arrears, you can only get the tax benefit also in arrears. Fair play. Okay. So we come in for year one, we come into year two to put it there. So we say equals, we go to the first one, okay, we divide it by 1,000. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing for the rest. Sorry. Because this is going perpendicular.
Sorry, Mr. Favana?
Yes.
Yes, I have a little bit, you know, okay, at the R4, you know, we already sold the asset, so therefore our written down value in year 4 is gonna be 0, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but why still these tax people, they still go and charge tax on our capital allowances?
Sorry. Can you say that again? I wasn't concentrating. You say what?
Yes. You know, we sold our asset at year 4 already, and then our written down value is 0 at year 4.
Okay.
Yeah, but still now, I mean, they charge tax on the capital allowances, even though we have written down value at year 4.
No. Mohammed, please understand this. This tax here is tax benefit on this capital allowance. Sorry, let me pick this. Mohammed, you have to understand this. This is not a tax cost. This is a tax benefit.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so this 30,000 is income, not an expense, and is on this capital allowance. Okay. Any questions, please? Any more questions? Any more questions, please?
So, Mr. Fofana?
Yes.
Will it be correct to say that, okay, the 30% will be the corporation tax, whereby it's going to be charged on the business profit?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Yes, I mean, would it be correct that to say that, okay, the 30% is the corporation tax, and it should be calculated on the profit, a business profit itself?
It should be calculated on the profit.
Yeah.
I don't understand your question, Mohammed.
Yes, you know, you said that, okay, this is a tax interest. I think that's what you told me.
You are breaking.
Hello?
Yes, Mohammed. Can you say your question again? I'm not hearing you. You are breaking.
Oh, yeah, the connection is a problem here. But anyway, no worries.
Okay.
I just, yeah.
Okay, so what we are trying to do is we're trying to bring these tax benefits we have calculated here. That's the 18, the 14, the 10, and the 30. Okay, so we're going to bring that here. So like I said, for year one, it will be in year two. So we say equals this divided by 1,000. Unfortunately, we cannot copy because this one is running vertical when this other one is horizontal. So we have to do it one by one. So for the third year, we're going to use the second year figure. We say divided by 1,000. For the fourth year, we're going to use the third year figure. We say divide by 1,000. And for the fifth year, we're going to use.
Sorry, why?
Yes,
1,000?
the
Are you trying
table,
to
everything
round
here
it
is
to
rounded to
0?
1,000. Dumuya, can you see? Okay. So we
Okay,
have
I don't know.
tax cost of 37 in year 2 and tax benefit of 19. In year 3, tax cost of 43 and tax benefit of 14. In year 4, tax cost of 56, tax benefit of 11. In year 3, tax cost of 23 and tax benefit of 30. Okay, is that clear? So this is what we have. So now can we do our our after-tax cash flow? So let's do our after-tax cash flow. Okay, our after-tax cash flow. So our after-tax cash flow, how are we going to calculate that? Can someone give me the formula, please?
So, Mr. Fofana,
Yes.
what I need clarification on is like the tax that you are going to pay and the tax bill, you have to net them off, like the tax that you're supposed to pay.
Exactly. You have
Yeah.
to net them off. Yes, you have to net them off. Good.
Let me try.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
That one, it is going to be like the net cash flow before tax.
Okay, that's this one. That's C12, isn't it?
Yes.
C12
minus in bracket.
No bracket.
No, not this one. This one, it is going to be like, it is going to be the same value.
Okay, minus.
I mean, for the first one, since there is no tax that is supposed to, but it's to be paid on the, it is going to be minus open bracket.
Open bracket. No, we don't have to open bracket. We know we are year 1. We know that there's no tax there, but you have to bring the year 1 cash flow as well, isn't it? So you can put the formula in year 1 and replicate. So what we are doing is we're taking the net cash flow before tax. We add the tax benefit and less the tax cost. Simple.
Yes, minus this one. C13.
Minus C13 plus
C14.
We enter. Good. So we replicate. Right. So our after-tax cash flow will be 122, 126, 158, 32, and 7. So this is our after-tax cash flow. Okay. But are we ready with all our cash flow? Can we look? How have we treated all the cash flows? Have we treated all the cash flows? Please check. Do we miss out on any of them?
Yeah.
Which one?
It's a inflation 5% per year.
Hey, inflation. We don't bring that here. We have already inflated these ones. They've given us all the how they're going to increase. The inflation I told you will be used when we are calculating our rate.
Mr. Fofana.
Yes.
I think it's the disposal.
Is that?
No, I think it's
Disposal.
this ROS, return on capital.
Is the disposal proceed. The cash we're going to get when we dispose of our asset. So this one will come on the week year. When are we going to dispose?
Year 4, year 4.
Year 4. Excellent. Excellent. So we're going to dispose of the asset in year 4. As such, the inflow will come in year 4. Okay, so we say disposal proceed. D-I-S-P-O-S-A-L. Disposal proceeds. P-R-O-C-E-D-S. Good. So our disposal proceeds will be 0 in year 1, 0, 0, and it will be 5,000 in year 5, isn't it? Sorry, year 4. The disposal is taking place in year 4, isn't it? So now, what is our net cash flow? Net cash flow What's our net cash flow? We add in the two, isn't it? Because disposal proceed is an inflow, so we need to add it. Are we together? Are we together?
Yes, we are.
Good.
Yes,
Mr.
yes.
Fofana,
So,
what did you just did?
Yes, I just added the after-tax cash flow to the disposal proceed. That's it. That's the only thing I did. So that gave me this net cash flow. So this will be our final cash flow number that we have to discount. So we have our final cash flow as 122, 126, 158, 37, and 7. Is that clear? So now these cash flows have not yet been discounted, so we need to discount them. Okay, so we need to discount them. How do we discount them? We find the discount factor of each of them and we multiply by them to give us our present value. So, but now the problem is, how are we going to calculate our discount factor? Okay, discount factor. If you go to the question, it tells you that, go to the question, please. The second to last paragraph, it says Treco Limited has a real cost of capital of 5.7% and pays tax at an annual rate of 30%, 1 year in arrears. It can claim capital allowances on a 25% reducing balance basis. General inflation is expected to be 5% per year. Take note of one thing: in an exam question like this, if you are given a real cost of capital and you are given an inflation cost of capital, okay? So if you're given a real cost of capital and you are given an inflation rate, you always have to find a nominal cost of capital. We always discount our projects using our nominal rate. Is this clear? And I have said at the beginning of the question that to find our nominal rate, we have been given a formula by a scientist called Sir Irving Fisher. And the function is called what? The Fisher effect. So we're going to use the Fisher effect. So I'm going to show that on our working. So we'll say our discount rates, sorry, our discount factor. So I'll just say DF in brackets working for, W4.
Mr. Fofana, why not put it under the workings?
Yes, that's what I'm coming to do. I'm putting it on the workings now. So that would be working for.
Mr. Fofana?
Sorry?
Yes, sorry. Please, I just wanna, why under the tax benefit, the capital allowance was divided by 1,000, please?
Sorry?
You know, under the tax benefit, we divided the capital allowance by 1,000 each. That's where we get 19, 14, 11, and 30 to the nearest whole number.
Yes.
So the 1,000, that's what, yeah. Why divided by 1,000?
Yeah. Mohammed, please. Look at this. All the numbers are in thousands. That's what we have been doing for all of them. Look at the sales figures. Look at them. They are all in their thousands.
Okay.
Look at them.
Oh, so that was the reason. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
So this one, all of them are also in their thousand. So if we want to bring them here, we must compare like with like.
That's right. That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. So we have our working for. Our working for will be our discount factor. Our discount factor calculation using the Fisher effect. Okay, and according to Fisher effect, okay, take note of this. According to Fisher effect, 1 plus nominal rate 1 plus nominal rate is the unknown here. That's what we are trying to find, equals, bracket opens, 1 plus real rate. Okay, real rate has been given, multiplied by, use the x, multiplied by 1 plus inflation rate. So this is what the Fisher effect says. 1 plus nominal rate, which is not given here. Like I said, we always use the nominal cost of capital rate to discount our projects. It's not given here. So according to Fisher effect, 1 plus nominal rate is equal to 1 plus real rate multiplied by 1 plus inflation rate. Okay, real rate has been given and inflation rate has been given. So how can we get the nominal rate here? We have to work that mathematically, yeah?
You have to multiply the two. 1 plus real rate times 1 plus nominal rate. Inflation.
Okay, so we know that we know that 1 plus nominal rate is not given, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to say 1 plus nominal rate equals bracket open 1 plus, I'll just use NR, nominal rate, okay, to abbreviate it, is equal to what? So 1 plus real rate. What is real rate? What is real rate?
It's 5.7. 5.7.
The real rate has been given in the question as 5.7%.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is real rate? So real rate is what? 1 plus real rate is what? What is real rate in percentage term?
6.7%.
Okay, so what formula should we put here to calculate a 1 plus real rate? So we say equals. Can someone give me equals?
1 plus.
1 plus. What is real rate in terms of decimals?
0.05%. 5.7.
0.057.
I can see you're struggling. Okay, it's 1 plus 0.057. 0.057, correct. So we take it to 2 dp. Both of them, we take them to 2 decimal place. So 1 plus real rate, which is this, is equal to 1 plus 0.57 is 5.7%. So if you want to get 0.057, you take 5.7 divided by 100. So if you take 5.7 divided by 100, so you move the decimal place twice, okay? First to 5 and second to 0, so that you'll have 0.057. Is that clear, everybody? Simple math. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. So now, if we want to find this other one, 1 plus inflation rate, can you give me the formula to get that?
It's going to be equals.
Equals,
1 plus
1 plus
0.05 plus
1.05. Excellent. So that's 5%. Okay, so that's 1.05. Okay, so now let's add the two together. So what is our 1 plus NR? Our 1 plus NR will be equal to what? We add the two. We add this plus, sorry, do we add or we multiply? We multiply. We multiply the two. We multiply this by that. And we take it to 2 decimal place. So our 1 plus nominal rate is equal to 1.11. Okay? But what do we want? We want our nominal rate. So now what is our nominal rate?
That is 1.11 minus 1, I think.
No, 1.11 plus 1.
I like that. So that's a challenge. Somebody says 1.11 minus 1.11, 1.11
minus 1.
You know, the advantage with maths is you always have to show your proof. So the one who says 1.11 plus 1, what is your proof?
Mr. Fafana, for me, I said 1.11 minus 1.
No, wait, I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you.
Yes.
Who said 1.1 plus 1? Who said it?
I said that, but
Janko is because,
yeah, it's 1.
Janko, the reason why you say it is because you are the only one whose belly is full among us. We are all hungry. And you know, if you are
I
hungry,
said 1.11 minus 1.
It should be minus 1.
So you agree that it should be minus 1?
Yes, I agree.
Okay, now, can somebody tell me why do we say minus 1 and not plus 1?
Yes, let me try.
Yes, Mohammed, yes, go ahead.
Yes, because the equal sign now, the 1 now goes to the right-hand side of the equal sign.
Okay. So what we are saying, yes, I'm getting you, yes?
Yes, because the sign of 1 is already plus, so when it goes to the next side, the other side of the equals, it became negative. That's how I understand it.
Very good. So this 1 plus NR equals 1.1 is an equation, a simple equation that we have all looked at. Now, what we say in that, this NR, this part of this NR here, is what we want to find, the subject. That will be our subject now. So if NR is the only one that's going to remain on the left, the 1 is going to move. So if the 1 is going to move, the sign of the 1 is going to change. So at the moment, the sign of the 1 is plus 1, so it's going to be what? Minus 1, simple. So if the 1 is going to move to the right, because that will be its rightful position, because unfortunately the NR has left the 1 now, the NR is on its own, the NR wants to stay on the left. Okay, so if the NR is the only one that's going to stay on the left, the 1 has to move. So the 1 has to move to the right of the equation. So if 1 has to move to the right of the equation, its sign needs to change. Okay, so unfortunately, I cannot do anything with this. This is mathematics now, not accounting. Okay, but I mean, we are all the same, mathematics and accountants. Well, we do a lot of things that are similar, of course. So right. So if the sign changes, then now the NR will be what? Equals this 1.1 minus 1. So 1.1 minus 1 will give us what? 1.1 minus 1 is what?
0.11.
Okay, and what is 0.11?
Percent.
Is the NR.
And what is that in terms of percentage? What is 0.11?
That is 11%.
11%.
Exactly. 0.11 is 11%. So we're going to use our discount factor as what? 11%. Simple. So our DF will be
Mr. Fofana?
Yes.
You say what? Is it about? This is Fisher's equation. That's what you said earlier, or?
Yeah, the Fisher effect, or Fisher, if you want, you can call it Fisher's equation. Yes, but it's called the Fisher effect.
Oh, okay.
It came about by a scientist called Sir Iring Fisher, Iring Fisher. So that's why they call it the Fisher effect. Okay, most of these scientists, they will always come up with their own, formulas and functions and so on and so forth, and they always name it after them. Okay, a typical example is Hooke's law of elasticity. Okay, you know about Hooke's law? Okay, the law of magnetism, the pendulum, and all those things. So these are all developed by people, and then they name it after themselves. Okay? So, brilliant. So we're going to go and use our 11% to discount our cash flows. So we all agreed that our discount factor is 11%. So now let's have our discount factor into 3 decimal place. So year 1, what will be our formula?
Into how many decimal place?
3 decimal place.
It's going to be.
If you have not been told how many decimal, always take it to 3 decimal place.
Okay, let me try.
Okay, yes.
Equals to.
Equals.
Round.
R-O-U-N-D. Brilliant.
Bracket open.
Bracket open.
1 over.
We open bracket again, isn't it? We open bracket twice. We say 1 over.
1 plus 0.11.
Okay. So we just say 1.11.
1.11.
1.11.
Raised to.
Raised to.
4.
Hey, we are on the year 1 now.
Okay, raised to 1.
Raised to power 1.
Close bracket.
We close bracket.
Comma.
Okay. We close in bracket. That closes the bracket for the formula, but it has not closed the bracket for the round. Look at it. And we say comma.
3.
To 3 decimal place. And
close the bracket. Close the bracket.
So, but after entering, you have to format this also to 3 decimal place, because at the moment it's formatted to 0 dB. So we can go click 1, 2, 3. Okay. So it gave us nicely 0.901. Is that clear? So we just duplicate this just like we've been doing, and then we change it. For year 2, we change it raised to power 2. For year 3, we change it raised to power 3. For year 4, we change it raised to power 4. And for year 5, we change it raised to power 5. Who is causing this noise?
I think it's Rabiat.
Rabiat, yes. Okay, so we have our discount factor for each of them. Okay, so 0.901, 0.812, 0.731, 0.659, and 0.0593. Okay, I hope we know how we arrived at each of them, class. Okay, so after calculating our discount factors, so what next should we calculate?
Present value.
We calculate our present value.
Present values. Excellent. So I just sorted it present value. So how do we calculate our present values?
The discount factor multiplied by the cash flow.
Okay, discount factor multiplied by the net cash flow. So give me the formula. Equals
to C19
C19
times C17.
multiplied by C17. We enter and we replicate. Brilliant. So we have our present values at 110, 102, 116, 25, and 4. Okay? So good. Excellent. So what is our NPV? Okay, so let's do a summary here. Okay, first, our total Pv of inflows total Pv of inflows and total Pv of outflows. Total Pv of outflows, and then we're going to push down a bit. We're going to call it NPV. So, what is the total Pv of inflows? What's the total?
Yes, we add from year 1 to 4. Sorry,
Okay.
year 1 to 5, sorry.
Year 1 to 5, so we say equal sum, bracket opens, we add all this, we close the bracket, we enter. Okay, what about the total Pv of outflows?
That's
what is
the
our outflow?
The 250.
The 250. So we have our 250,000. So what is our NPV? Our NPV is the difference. So our NPV is 106,000. Okay, is that clear, everybody? Simply.
Yeah, but Mr. Fofana.
Yes.
This question alone you should give us 2 hours 30 minutes. Only this one, trust me.
No, now that you understood it, you should take it, you should, actually in exams, my questions are usually 45 minutes. So you're given 45 minutes to answer this question. So if this comes in ACCA, you are going to be given only 30 minutes, but I give you extra 15 minutes. So it's not difficult to understand. Please, I think you will agree with me that this is not difficult at all. Yima, is it difficult, Yima?
Mr. No, it has a lot to do. That's, you know.
Mr. Fofana, this is
Yeah,
not
there is a
easy.
lot to do. It's complicated.
No. It's not.
Do a lot of work, Mr. Fofana, honestly.
If you say it has lots to do, I agree, but it's not complicated at all.
Yeah, not that complicated.
But Mr. Fofana, it's not easy either.
You work a lot. You did, you know, you have a lot of work to do before you get to your NPV.
But let me tell you one thing. At your stage, don't expect anything easy. You know, life itself is not easy.
Yeah, but you know, this is our major.
If you want to prove that life is not easy, watch someone who is eating a very nice hot soup. The person will be sweating like crazy. And eating, you're supposed to be enjoying it. But why sweating? Huh?
Yeah, you know, sometimes
It's because the food is hot.
Because the food is sweet.
No, it's part of the enjoyment.
Mr. Fofana, you know, sometimes exam pressures also contribute. At least take 15 or 10 minutes from our time. You know that.
Sorry, is it 10 minutes?
I said, sometimes exam pressure can take 10 minutes from your time. You never know. Like before you understand the question itself, maybe due to exam pressure, you know, or some, you know, it can take
I can accept that for students who are not properly prepared. But if you are properly prepared, you don't have any issues with exam pressure. Students who are not properly prepared, they always suffer. But if you are
Sorry, Mr. Fofana. You know, at the bottom, you take the discounted cash inflow minus the cash outflow.
Yes.
But this fixed cost, it was captured when we are calculating the profit. Does this mean that always you have to calculate your profit and later you subtract the cash outflow, like in the case of the fixed asset? You know, the variable cost also was a cash outflow, but it was not considered.
Okay, good. I understand your point. So your problem is there were some outflows that were already part of here. Good observation. But they have been deducted. Okay, like the variable cost is an outflow. The fixed cost is an outflow. Not only those, even the tax payment is an outflow. The rest are inflows. So you're right. The reason why we said total PV of, it should in fact be net inflows. Total PV of net inflows. I hope it's clear now. So it's net inflows. So net inflows means all the inflows less the cost. Okay? And then the outflows is the one at the start of the period. That's the initial investment, 250,000. Okay? But alternatively, you can bring that 250,000 in the calculation here as well. Okay? But in that case, what you have to do, you have to create a column called year zero. And it will not be discounted. Then now it can be part of this. I hope it's clear now, Omar.
Yes, but I think this question, it consists both the compounded and the discount. You know, the compounded, I think they are rated to the 3% of the selling price.
Yes. All these ones have been compounded, like the selling price have been compounded. So that's why I said you must be able to know your compounding technique and your discounting technique. So the selling price have all been compounded, just like the variable costs have been compounded, and the fixed costs also have all been compounded.
Okay? And later you discount it.
And then later they were discounted, exactly.
Okay, thank you.
We were compounding them so that we can find their future prices and their future costs. Okay? Excellent. So this takes us to the end of part A. So let's do part B. Part B is a simpler one. And after doing part B,
time first.
Yes. I know it's prayers time. It's about 7 minutes to 5. We can do part B in 7 minutes. Then when we come back, hopefully we'll do only 30 minutes to complete IRR, and then that will be the end of the show. Okay. So let's be. I myself, I'm tired and hungry. So it's only Mr. Jeta who is not tired and his belly is full because he's from Jetakuna. So, all right. So let's go. So we do part B. Part B says calculate the before tax return on capital employed. So I told you the ARR is the same as the capital, the rows, the return on capital employed. Okay, so the before tax return on capital employed based on the average investment. Okay, based on the average investment. Okay, so we're going to do ARR based on the capital investment. Then the part C, we're going to see that when we look at our IRR. Okay, so let's finish this 5 minutes, and then we break for our salah. When we come back, we finish our IRR, and then we call it a day. Right. So the part B, we're going to calculate our ARR, our accounting rate of return.
Sorry, Mr. Mohan.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, before you go, because I'm trying to calculate this in the present value.
You're trying to calculate?
The summation, I'm having like 357 instead of 557 instead of. Can you go back? Sorry.
Okay. Week one here.
Yeah. I'm having 357 instead of 356. So
You are having 357
yeah,
instead of 356.
yeah.
You don't have to worry. It might be a rounding off error.
Okay.
It might be a rounding off. You know, we did a lot of rounding off.
Okay.
Okay. So in fact, some of my numbers here, when you look at them, they were different when I used the calculator. But 1 or 2 difference, nobody's going to mark you down for that. It's all due to rounding off. Okay. So that's not a problem. So 356, 357 is fine. Even 358. Okay. So these are big numbers, and we've rounded up. You calculated them from here, from their workings. We took them here, we rounded it up, and so on and so forth. And the rounding also started from even the rate. Look at the rates. So if you had rounded the rates, maybe some of them to 1 dp instead of 2 dp, maybe that may cause this. So you don't have to worry. Okay, these are big numbers. You will never be penalized for 1 or 2, 3 like that. Okay, is that clear? Okay, so we are going to calculate our ARR, but it has told us which number, which profit we're going to use, which cash flow we need. Sorry, which profit we're going to use. Is what is before tax return. Okay, it's before tax. So the before tax numbers are this that we're going to use: 122, 143. This one. Which one is the before tax? It's this one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this is what we're going to use for our calculation. Okay, the before tax, 187, 78, and 0. Good. So, right, so that means we have to add all these things. So we're supposed to calculate our ARR, and it's going to be based on before tax cash flow. Okay. So our before tax cash flow is what? So let's add them. So it's going to be equal sum, bracket opens, all these things. We close our bracket. So that will be about 531,000. Okay, is that clear? 531,000. Now, we have to calculate accounting rate of return. So this 531,000, is it profit or cash flow? Is it profit or cash flow?
It is the accounting profit.
Hey, Umar.
This one, no, it's cash flow.
It's cash flow.
Depreciation, yeah.
Okay, so to calculate our accounting rate of return, do we use cash flow or accounting profit?
Accounting profits.
Okay, so to take this to accounting profit, what do we consider?
The depreciation.
The depreciation. Okay, so we calculate our total depreciation. Okay. Our total depreciation is what? What's our total depreciation? What's our total depreciation? What's the cost of the asset? What's the scrap value? And what's the useful life?
The cost of the asset is 250.
Okay, so we say equals, bracket opens, 250, 1, 2, 3. What's the scrap value?
5,000.
5,000. Okay. So that will give us our total depreciation. Okay, but we need to put all this thing divided by 1,000 because we want to express it to that. So our total depreciation is 245,000. Is that clear, everybody?
So you don't divide it by the number of years.
Yes, we'll do that. We'll do that at the end. We'll do that at the end. We'll find the average. So our average annual accounting profit our average annual accounting
It's 17
profit.
hours.
Okay, our average annual accounting profit will be equals to the cash flow minus the depreciation, because we need to take the depreciation off, and whatever we have, we divide it by the number of years, and the number of years is 4. So Umar, we are doing that. So we're going to round this up. So we have 71,000. We can, in fact, take it up to say, okay, 2 DP or 3 DP, doesn't matter. Okay, let's take it to 2 DP.
Sorry, Mr. Fofana, can you go over it, please?
Sorry?
Can you go over it, please?
Yeah, so what we have done is simple. We have done this before. Our accounting rate of return is exactly what we're going to do, and it's the same method. So to calculate our accounting rate of return, we need our average annual accounting profits, which we are trying to calculate here. We've got our cash flow already. We calculated our total depreciation, which is the cost of the asset less discard value. Okay? So that gives us 245. So the difference between the two, okay, divided by 4, because everything should be average. So that gives us our 71,000 plus. Is that clear now?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so now
Mr. Fofana,
yes.
I'm still confused. Why are we not dividing it by the number of years when calculating the depreciation?
It's the same thing here. We can either do it here or we do it here. We have done it here. So we have done it once. We've taken the answer and divide by 4. It's the same as when you divide by 4 here and divide by 4 here. It's the same.
Yes, I think based on the terminology, it should be average, like sum everything. And
if you do it that way, will you have the same answer?
Yes, you will have the same answer. It's
Let's
what you're supposed to do.
Let's prove it, Rabia. Let's have our average accounting profit divided by 4. Okay. Let's have our average depreciation divided by 4. Okay. Now, what do? We take this and we deduct it from here. Is it not the same, Rabiatu? Is it not the same?
These numbers are confusing me. Oh, I understand now. Thank you.
No, don't be confused. It's the same. Okay? So it's the same. Brilliant. So yeah, we can just do away with 1. So let's do this quickly. So what about, we have been told that we should use average investment. So what's our average investment?
That one, it is going to be the investment at the start. Like
okay.
The cost of
our
the money.
total investment is 250,000, isn't it? So 250 plus 5.
The disposal value.
Yes, 250 plus 5
by
2. So that's our 127.5, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Is that clear? Rabiatu, you following?
No, Mister, I was sorry. Can we go over it, please?
The average investment, yeah? We go over the average investment, you mean, or what?
Yeah, the average investment, yeah.
The average investment is the initial investment plus the investment at the end divided by 2. The initial investment is 250,000. That's the cost of the machinery. There's a scrap value of 5,000 at the end of the period. So 250 plus 5 divided by 2 gives us 127,500, 127.5. We are taking this all into thousands, so let them not confuse you. This 531 here is 531,000, 245, 71,500, 127,500, like that. Is that clear?
All right, thank you. Thanks, yeah.
Good. So now what is our ARR? Our ARR would be, let's our ARR will always be a percentage. So let's format this to percent. So we say equals, what will be our ARR? Our AAAP divided by our AI. So our accounting rate of return is 56%. Okay? Clear, everybody? This is a simple one. The same way we have done our accounting rate of return is the same method we have used here. Is it clear, everybody?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good. So let's break. Let's take 15 minutes break. When we come back, we run up. So it's about 5 past 5. We come back at 20 past 5. So we come back at 20 past 5. Okay. When we come back, we're going to look at IRR for a few minutes, and we'll be done. Okay.